feel free to talk to anybody that you see on there for me for a few minutes.
No problem.
While we're doing this.
Right.
Are we on?
We are.
Awesome.
Do I need to reset the chat on the right, John? John.
If you just refresh that tab, you should be all right.
All right. Refresh, restream.
You know,
Yes.
You don't even have to. You'll start seeing the new ones come up.
Yeah.
You don't even
okay.
need to worry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You're good.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I love this. Hey, do you hear me echoing?
It's because
There you go. Okay.
That's Joe's microphone.
Yeah, I was definitely echoing. Let's see about this show before the show.
Morning, Heather. I know you're like, who in the heck is that? Reset the.
Oh, my volume. Let me just turn my volume down. Good morning, Heather. All right. Okay.
Morning, Michelle.
And then we've got Dave is gonna link in at 9:30. Joe.
David Gregory?
Yeah. Or around 9:30. And then did you get the dot on the ballot screenshot I sent you?
I'm pulling it all in now.
What?
I'm pulling it all in now.
Okay. Tell me when you get it all, and then we'll just go over it really quick. Golly, it's already 8:56. This morning is flying by, Greg.
I was up at 6 o'clock in line to vote in the rain, and I get a message from Vic.
I know. I was so excited.
Quickly got home, changed, and got my butt over here.
Yeah.
And it would have been a little less time, but my wife had to go through the line 3 times because there was ink blots on the print for the ballot.
See? And, one of our listeners sent Vic and I early this morning. She actually has a screenshot of it that has had some ink blots. But guess where the ink dot was? The only ink dot on the whole ballot.
Wild guess, Kamala Harris.
You got it. Yep. I mean, call it strange, call it coincidental, whatever you want, but that is the fact. So we'll be showing that too when we get the show started.
Crazy day.
It is.
Yeah. I almost brought soap and shampoo with me to stand in line this morning. Since it was raining, I figured I could do 2 things at once.
Oh, you know what? That would have been really clever of you. What else you got?
Okay, so right now I have a bunch of graphics that you sent, screenshots, and then I have a few links.
Okay.
We have To Be a Hater as an Adult, some girl in a Chiefs thing, without you sitting in here, it's kind of hard to describe.
Pat Mahomes' mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know who she was. We have 2 Trump sound bites.
And one should be with Megyn Kelly, and one should be talking about Joe Rogan.
Actually, yeah, the one Joe Rogan, the other one, it looks like it's not Megyn Kelly. He's doing a speech somewhere. Let's see. President Trump shares what I and so many others believe. God save Trump.
Okay. Well,
so that he could save America. I don't know where the one with Megyn Kelly went. And there's who is this? CNN's Van Jones says that he's nervous and worried about Kamala Harris chances in Pennsylvania. That's another one. I don't know if that was one that Vic sent.
Yeah, it is. But I resent it to you since we couldn't get it through. Gotcha. But most important, where is the Megyn Kelly? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me try to.
Is that the one that was in Fox News?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Do you have it?
I don't have it, but I know what to look for now.
Hope everyone is having a dry, warm morning at home.
Let's see. We got Addie, Karen,
Hey, Addie.
Kimberly.
Ooh, everybody.
Gary, Susan.
What about now,
Good morning.
Joe? Megan Kelly? Megan under Megan? I can't hear you.
I haven't received anything new yet.
Hey, Heather, tell them to get up. It makes a difference. I was up at 6 a.m. in the rain, soaking wet before I came here.
I love that.
Change clothes, everything.
I got it, but it's a blank email.
Okay.
There's no link.
I will send you a fresh new one. And then are you going to be able to clip that first part, the commercial?
Clip what?
The first part, since you don't like the commercials.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to figure out a way to
So,
do it without interrupting the show.
yeah. Because I love this clip. Okay. Let me know. If you have it on Audio Inc. Yay, nay? You got it? Joe, you're supposed to tell me that. Okay. Hey, and whenever y'all want to start the show, let's go, boys.
Uh-oh. Big Boss said, hi, hubby.
Oh, your wifey's on there?
Oh, yes.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Danielle. Love you too. And yes, dear. The two magic words she taught me before we got married.
Oh
yes,
gosh.
dear.
Smart woman. Hey, good morning. Hey, Gary, Erog. Morning. Howdy, Mitch. Good morning, Mark.
You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Presents partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together.
Hey everyone, good morning and welcome to Cancel This Live. Today is the day. It is Election Day, November 5th, 2024. And we are so excited to be here with you this morning on this just eventful, just amazing day when Donald J. Trump is going to be elected the next 47th president. So today I have Greg. He is one of our best listeners. He also fills in. He also knows the production end. He knows a little bit about everything. So today he's here because Vic Faust, our main slice, he had a meeting, like a really great, amazing meeting that he was invited to, and he could not pass on it. So I am so lucky to have Greg with us. And then for my co-host / producer, we have good old Projo. Projo's in the house. He's ready. He's ready to make us sound good, look good, and we're going to talk all election today. So I hope that if you guys are out there in the rain, I hope you guys are excited. Thank you so much for braving the rain. Not sure where you're at in the country watching or listening, but locally here, it is not a beautiful day. And Greg, who's sitting right across from me, he was one of the many people that stood outside in the cold rain and casted his vote for this just amazing election. So thanks, Greg, for coming in.
Hope I can do you guys proud.
Well, maybe we'll just let Greg take over. He loves to talk. If you guys see him on the chat line, we have a lot of regular people that are on the chat line. You guys always see Greg just give his awesome, opinions, his educated opinions. He's always got a lot to say. And hey, too, I see a lot of new names coming in our chat line. So thank you so much for hopping in and talking to us. I love it. We'll do our best to see what you guys have to say. And if I actually today, I really do want to know if you guys have had any wild voting experience, if you guys are out there now, how things are going. We have been sent lots of different things for things happening, whether it's locally or nationwide, as far as the voting is going. And, let's just get right to it. It's looking good for Donald Trump. So we've got the swing states, obviously, that we all know are making a big difference. Up until actually this morning, I heard that he was taking over 4 of the 7, just needs 3. Heard this morning that he's got 6 of the 7 swing states. So things are looking good for him. What do you now? Do you do polls, Greg? Do you put your heart and soul into polls or not?
Not really.
No,
not really.
I don't either.
I go with my gut and what's going on out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Vic, he doesn't do polls either, but there are certain polls that he believes in. He believes that they are truthful, accurate, and we're just going to hope that is the way that it's going. And if you want, Projo, let's show that RCP polling that shows Trump winning 6 of the 7 swing states. So you guys, you can see it right here. I mean, I hate to use the word red wave because we did that last time, and the red wave was not able to drown the cheaters. So, but anyway, this is what it looks like right now for those of you wondering. And again, he only needs 3. So things are looking good. As of this morning, there have been 82 million Americans that have already voted. And to me, that is just absolutely amazing. It just goes to show that people are aware that this election is truly the most important in the history of our country and possibly moving forward for several years. It's going to go one way or the other. And anytime you turn on the news, you hear that it's a tight race. It's a coin flip. It's a 50-50. But like the map that we just showed, he truly is kicking butt. And I'm super excited. For some reason, I have been super nervous. Everybody knows. Vic makes fun of me. I've been super nervous about this election, but I woke up today and I don't know. I feel different. How about you guys?
I was a little nervous and everything, but I haven't had time to really concentrate on that this morning after standing, an hour in the rain, about 70 people wrapped around the building. Mm-hmm. But it went pretty quick, only an hour.
Yeah.
from beginning to end.
Yeah. Well, one of our listeners, he actually, Paul, he sent in something to me this morning, and one of the schools that's locally here, and it's a decent sized school. So, and there's a lot of people that live around this school. In this particular voting station, there was only one ballot machine. So it wasn't the wait to get in. It wasn't the wait to get your ballot. It was the wait to put it into the ballot machine. So I'm hoping that that is not the norm for most places. Where I went, I mean, it was smooth. The line looked tremendously long. I was like, oh man, here we go. I cannot believe I'm going to have to stand out here. But it went great, and there were several ballot machines. So, hopefully that places like that can get it together, because today's the day. It ends. It ends today. I hope that everybody is just as excited as I am. I'm looking right now. Gary's super nervous. Kimberly, you poor thing. You've been up since 3:30 in the morning. Stephanie, she's nervous. Gosh, you guys, I get it. But at this point, if you've casted your vote, that's it. That's all we can do. Just hope and pray, and that we're going to have just an awesome, awesome man back in the seat driving this train.
I just want to add
Yeah.
that the color of my shirt does not reflect.
No.
I wasn't thinking when I dressed today, so I just wanted to
just
point
pull your
that out.
cap down a little bit. That's all you need. You're just a cancel this guy, and we're just here to give it to you straight. We're here to give you the truth, the facts, nothing but that. We're not here to talk about people's emotion. We're here to really, really talk about a lot of the facts, and the facts are that Trump is looking darn good, which is exciting for me.
Well, we do have the red, white, and blue going on here.
We
got
do.
you and me in the red,
Mhm.
him in the blue,
Yep.
and Joe and I are so pale, you got the white.
Yep. Hey, so I want to know how many people voted in red. I want to just know, or if you guys are like, I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm going to slap my raincoat on and just, get it done.
Well, it was too cold for me to wear what I was going to wear, and that was American flag
Speedo?
boarding shorts, the surfer board shorts, no thong or anything like that. Those days are long gone.
Oh, well.
And then my little American shirt, and then my American cowboy hat, but a little too wet, a little too cold to wear it this morning.
Well, but Joe and Vic, they want me to do a special order, the American flag DJT Speedo. So if you want, I'm sure that they wouldn't mind if I added an extra onto that. Right, Joe?
My swimming Speedo trunks are long gone.
If you buy two, you got one free. Well, okay.
Yeah, I got the dad bod now, even though I was a swimmer in high school and college.
Robert, you voted all in red. Robert, are you nervous? Because you always seem just so calm and cool about everything. That's what I want to know. No, let's see. Jamie, you did. I love it. What? You wore a blue shirt, Gary? Come on. Let's go. Greg does have a good radio voice.
Thank you.
Glenn on here, he just said that. And I don't. I know that. I do not have a radio voice. I just have this, I don't know if I'd call it squeaky, but but I got a lot to say. So I just go with it.
I like it.
Okay, well, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but there are so many people now that are coming out for Donald Trump. Not sure why they waited to the very last minute for it. But we have a list of all of the people that have now come out, shown support. You know what? Hey, let's, do you have the clip of Trump talking about Joe Rogan? Yeah, let me show you this. I love this.
You got to give me time.
Getting it loaded. So we for whatever reason we were having, and I don't know if it could be the rain or what, but it always seems like whenever we have bad weather here near the studio, something goes awry, whether it's our email, our phones. It's super weird. But anyway, so we are going to play this clip for you. Donald Trump talking about Joe Rogan.
Whoa. Oh, wow. I have some more big news, Megan. I'm just getting this right now. So somebody that's very, very respected asked me to do his show 2 weeks ago, and I said, why not? And to me, it's very big because he's the biggest there is, I guess, in that world by far. Somebody said the biggest beyond anybody in a long time. And his name is Joe Rogan, and he's never done this before. And it just came over the wires that Joe Rogan just endorsed me. Is that right? Thank you, Joe. That's so nice. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. So.
Now, was that not awesome, you guys?
Huge.
That was huge. That was just huge. Joe Rogan, he, for as much as that guy loves to talk, he's got a way about him. He does not wear his thoughts and his emotions on his sleeve necessarily. And I know that that's funny to say because we hear him just get so riled up about things, drop the F-bomb every other, 5 words, things like that. But, politically, he has been, he pays attention. Let's just say that. He's gone kind of Democrat, kind of libertarian, and he's never just been outspoken about who he wants to support. So for someone like this to come out and publicly support, that just made me feel good because, like I said, he does his homework. He's got a huge fan base. He's got a huge fan base from the left, from the right, from the middle. He's got men, he's got women, he's got young people, he's got old people. I mean, he really, really draws a good, diverse fan base. And so I was super excited to hear him, come out and just say, my vote is for Trump. And how could you not after you spent 3 hours with him?
Exactly.
Hanging out with him.
And he calls it like it is, just like Trump does.
Yeah. And he really does. Yeah, we know that. That's for sure. So yeah, I think that that's really exciting. And there's so many others. There's just some really great people that have come out in support for him. And there's been some not so great people that have come out in support for Kamala Harris. And we've seen that. We've seen who she invites to her rallies to try to get, people to actually come and to listen to what she has to say. And I mean, personally, just in my opinion, I don't get excited about those people that she, has, come and show their support. And I think we actually have even more people that are supporting Donald Trump. And it's easy to see in this particular shot that we have of all the people supporting Donald Trump and then the people that are supporting Kamala Harris. So yeah, we'll when we get to that, we'll show
Which
you.
Which shot are we talking about here?
So it's the list of who's supporting.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I popped it up earlier. That's why I was confused.
That's okay. That's all right. Like I said, you guys, we're just playing around. I love this. So right here, it says, so just to recap, just so that everybody knows, there's just a few, really awesome people that are supporting Donald Trump. And we're going to start with RFK Jr., Bobby Kennedy. I mean, not only is he supporting him, he wants to be on the guy's team. I mean, he wants to make America healthy again. And I'll be honest with you, I did not really pay attention to a lot of the things that Bobby Kennedy was so passionate about just the poison that is in our food and how ill it's making young kids and adults, but really, truly the ramifications of what America's food is like right now. And, all of the vaccinations, there's just a million things, but he really opened my eyes to all of that. Joe, I know that you're constantly paying attention to that, and Greg, you for your own personal issues, but man, that guy really opened my eyes to a lot of things that have been going on in this country, know?
Yes. I switched from, I never have been a Republican or Democrat, but over 15 years, I switched over to Republican because we saw this coming. 2 decades ago. I personally believe it started when what was his name? Jack Ryan, who was running for Senate. They dug up his divorce files, and it was sealed, and forced him out, which gave Barack Obama the Senate seat. They had no.
So wait, so you were a Democrat and then you switched to being a Republican. Why exactly?
I never have voted straight ticket.
Yeah.
And
Just
I voted
looked at who was running.
right
Love it.
when it was Bush out of the office,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Obama and Kerry, or who was it against Dole?
Yeah, Dole. Yeah.
I was like, no, Dole's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I voted for Obama. I picked the best choice that I think would matter better
You voted for Obama.
the first time.
Joe?
I did too.
Well, both of you. You're out of here.
Really a whole lot
I'm kicking you guys out of here.
There wasn't a whole lot of good choices at
Right.
the time. Plus, we were both Democrats at the time. I was actually a Democrat about 5 or 6 years ago.
You know, that's when I really started paying attention to politics, was around the Obama time, and he scared the living daylights out of me. Everything that guy said, there was just no way that I could have voted for him. I mean, truly, there were so many things that he did and said that, just brought me fear. And here he is. He's still around. He's on his third presidency. He's behind the scenes. He's calling all the shots. We all know it. We all know that him, and a few of the other, ringleaders are back there. I mean, Joe Biden, oh my gosh. Didn't they say that this weekend was the last time that we were going to hear him talk publicly for a long time?
For Biden?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's already started.
Yeah. Well, no, they really truly said, they're like, hey, after he said that he thinks that, people like Donald Trump just need a good smack in the ass. I think that's when they were like, okay, you know what? We got to keep him. We got to keep him down. We cannot do this anymore. We cannot let this guy get on here because he's ruining it. He's completely ruining it for the left.
Yeah, Kamala's been distancing herself for the last 2 weeks from a lot of the comments.
You know what? And that's just too late for you, honey. She goes on public TV, tells the American people that there's nothing that she can think of that Joe Biden should have done differently during his entire presidency. And then she also likes to say, well, I was part of those decisions. I was right there. Any of his legislation, I was right there. I was a part of it. I was part of the team, and so we don't forget that. We don't forget that stuff.
Last one in the room kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the last one in the room. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? I mean, this girl, her hanging out in these, in the war room or, in any of these rooms where they're making big decisions, I guarantee they don't even look at her. They probably forget that she's even sitting at the table. So for her to say that she's the last one in the room and, she's the one that advises him, the last person that gives him advice on any major decisions. Oh my gosh.
Maybe she was just serving him coffee and she was the last one in there.
Give me a break. Yeah. She could definitely.
I mean, this has been a litmus test.
Serve some coffee. Hey, but this is so funny because someone on here thinks that having Katy Perry and Oprah Winfrey and people like that come out to endorse Kamala Trump is fantastic. And I think that is absolutely hilarious because everyone knows, who Oprah is and everyone knows that, you can't trust a word that girl says either. She talks out all sides of her mouth. And, to be honest, I just... When a celebrity that is known for, singing or entertaining people or things like that, and they come out, I don't know. I just don't pay a whole lot of attention to that. I just don't I would never, ever think that they were of sound mind living in the world and the bubble that they live in out in Hollywood. I don't think that they could make a sound decision to save their life.
Stick to making coffee ads and things like that.
Well, yeah, and shaking your booty and, making songs about, all the weird stuff that they sing about. So,
do you want to trust Taylor Swift, a woman that writes about every bad relationship? She's had every bad relationship. So can you trust her opinion
anyway? She writes songs about her bad decisions.
Yeah.
Well, that's all she does. And what's funny about that is all of the people that actually do put, they put thought into that. Well, if Taylor Swift, if she's going to vote for Kamala Harris, well, then I better. And gosh, that's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, is it awesome that we can freely vote, that we can vote for whoever we want to in this world? Yes, it's awesome. I mean, I wouldn't want to have it any other way, but gosh dang, if I could have it my way, there would be just a little, like even just 10 question page, just a little, civics test that just so that, we knew that you were actually kind of paying attention, because we can't have people vote for Taylor Swift in this presidential election. Like, because she's not running the show. So I think a lot of people in their mind, they worship these people and they become obsessed with these people and they idolize these people. And it's really that they're voting for them and not who is really in the seat.
That's exactly a good point right there. We do not need to put an idol above anything but God.
So true. Yeah, he's definitely.
And then your spouse.
Mm-hmm. Well,
then lower it down after that. Taylor Swift's not going to be on my opinion poll.
No. Gosh, no. Yeah, Robert says P. Diddy and Epstein celebs who are endorsing the blue candidates are wishing that side would win so that their secrets stay that way. And, that could not be any better said. There are so many people right now, and we'll pull that list back up. I know I got off on a RFK tangent about who is supporting Trump, but it's so true. I mean, these people are so afraid. The people in the swamp are so afraid that once it's drained and once Trump, gets to you, he's going to hold you accountable for things. And I think that that's the biggest problem with people on the left, is that they are so afraid that this guy, he has no qualms about coming out and saying, you're wrong, you did this, you're wrong. No, you know what? You can't pay me off, because guess what? I got more money than you can shake a stick at. So this whole money thing, people paying people to keep secrets and, not to turn people in and all that, he doesn't need it. And they're 100% aware of it,
One of the biggest reasons why I voted for Trump is he's a businessman.
Yes, indeed.
You notice that most of the Democrats are lawyers on their side, and the other side is a variety. We've had actors, we've had politicians, but no lawyers. We've had doctors in there and so forth. But the left side has always been ideology. Is that a proper ideology?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a completely different ideology. It's a completely different way of thinking. And that's what I was saying yesterday, is that it has become not a political war. It's become a culture war. It's the difference between the left and the right is so it's immense. It's just culturally. I mean, you just by someone's opinion on so many different things, whether it's education, whether it's sex education, whether it's money, whether it's minimum wage, whatever it is, it is such a culture divide right now. I think about that a lot, because I'm so curious as to how that happened. Because again, you could completely take politics out of a conversation with someone. And if you sat down and you had a conversation with, 5 conservatives and 5 liberals, I confidently can say that I bet you I would get a 99%. I could pick out and not even bring up politics, not even bring up Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, just normal questions that would, lead someone to, like you said, what is your ideology? How did you get this thought process? How did you get here? And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, Gary, it is. It's a war of good and evil.
Hey, Megan,
yeah.
we have our guest in, by the way.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw the private chat.
I didn't. How long has he been sitting there? Sorry, David. Yeah, bring him on in. We'll come back to this. Hi, David. How are you?
Hello. Thanks for having us on.
Hi. Yes. Okay. So where are you this morning? This is David Gregory, everyone, and he is running for Missouri State Senate, and he's awesome.
Two Gregorys here today.
Yeah, we've got 2 Gregorys. So this guy's awesome. He's also a conservative lawyer. He does so many great things. He's gone after so many people here in St. Louis and around. Yeah, he's just an awesome guy, and he's out there this morning. I can see you're braving the rain with your wingman or wing girl. I can't really see who you have
Right.
there. I just see a little face. But yeah,
Teddy,
how's it going?
it's going outstanding. So
Teddy?
we are here. We are standing outside Wildwood City Hall, one of the more popular voting polling places in the district. Of course, I'm running for state senate, encompassing pretty much all of West St. Louis County. And so
Yes.
we're standing out here, and I've got a trooper with me here, Teddy. He's been at every
Love it.
poll, standing for me, working hard for the conservative cause. And I asked him to join me if you guys are okay, just for a few minutes.
Oh, love it. Teddy, how old are you?
13.
Man, look at you. I mean, you are getting into this young. I love it. You know, you're figuring out those conservative values at a good young age, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one standing where Dave's standing down the road,
You think
holding that
you might run for
umbrella.
office?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You never
That's
know.
right.
So,
That's right.
Dave, how are the lines there this morning?
You know what? There are no lines. It's incredible. And it makes
Right.
sense if you think about it. More than half of the folks have probably already voted, or at least half, right? And there were
Hmm.
only 4 polling locations open for early voting in my entire district. 4. Today, there are
Wow.
45 polling locations open. So that's why you're
Oh
not
my
seeing these
gosh.
tremendously long lines. I think there's still what I would consider a steady turnout, still
Yeah.
a healthy, steady turnout, which is good for us, but not
Good.
near the long lines. So, if you're watching and you're thinking about voting, vote. It's going to take a lot less time than you think.
That's right. And I was at that where you're at is where I voted the other day, and there was a long line. And I've been telling everybody, I pulled up and I was like, oh no, this is going to take forever. And it was great. I mean, it moved smooth. That particular polling place, they know what they're doing. They're on it. Everything just really ran smooth. So that's what I've been telling everybody. Don't let the rain or the long lines deter you from getting out there and voting.
Half the time it
Yes.
took me to vote was just inside going through the ballot.
Yeah, it
And the other
does.
half
Right.
was
It's a
standing in
big
line in the
ballot.
lane.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a big ballot. It's a very long ballot. So are you going to hit some more voting stations today, or are you going to stay put there?
Yep. I'll be traveling around, but I just wanted to call in first off, say thank you to all the listeners,
Yes,
and please, any and all support you can get. It's going to be a close race. I'm predicted
it
to win,
is.
but we're not going to take anything for granted. We're going to work hard, and any words you
Mhm.
guys can get out for us, David Gregory for state senate, we would appreciate it.
Hey, you got it. And good luck. And my prediction is that you're going to win as well.
Good.
So,
That's a good prediction.
Me too. I
yes.
agree too.
Teddy, why do you like Donald Trump?
Because he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
All
He's a
right.
good man.
Hey, call it like it is. Perfect,
Yeah,
Teddy.
that's
Hey,
perfect.
Teddy. Hey, you have a great day today, buddy.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I will. And stay dry, okay?
Okay.
And Dave, keep up the good work.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
All right. Take care. Have a good one.
Go, Gregory.
That's right. So again, that was David Gregory running for state senate here in Missouri. And just a great guy. All the way around. Not only does he want to get, into Senate and get some things done, but up to this point, he's an amazing attorney. And, he's taken the time to really go after some people here in the state, to make things right for people. And so we really, really appreciate that. So good
Yeah.
luck to him. And
He
I
did-
do. I think he's going to take the cake.
I think so too. And he gave me sage advice one time.
What was it?
It was, a little personal with a neighbor and their living situation in a nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't do anything about it, but he gave me sage advice to help out that neighbor
Oh,
with, the nursing homes are,
yeah.
how they are.
Yeah. Well,
some
that's
of 'em.
cool.
So, but yeah, and he apologized. He couldn't, help, but he do anything. But he did send some sage advice, and we talked for a few minutes, and it's all good.
Oh, see,
So
that's great.
we're just documenting and watching and making sure that our neighbor is well taken care of.
Yes. And hey, speaking of neighbors, everyone, if you have a neighbor that would love to vote but cannot get out for one reason or another, whether it's the actual transportation or maybe they need help. I saw a lot of people voting that had canes, had walkers. Actually, there were 2 people that were just a couple people behind me in line in wheelchairs. If there's anybody that you can think of that would love to get out and cast their vote and maybe just is going to have a hard time doing it, gosh, check on those neighbors. and make sure that they get out and vote. It is just really important. It's always important, but this year, your vote truly, truly makes a difference.
And any true American's going to do it anyway for their neighbor.
Yeah.
That's what we all do.
Yeah. Well, we should. There's some of us that love our neighbors, and there's some that don't love your neighbors, and love your neighbor today is the name of the game. But hey, so speaking of, just a few more people that I think is just awesome, showing their support for Donald Trump is Patrick Mahomes' mom. If we could get that pulled up. I just love, we know where Pat Mahomes and his wife stand on who they want to be elected for the next president. Patrick Mahomes, he always does it very, he doesn't just come out and start talking politics. He's a gentleman about it. But I just absolutely loved seeing this. This is Pat Mahomes' mom talking about Donald Trump.
Make America great again. Let's do it. Make America great again. Let's do it.
Now, see, isn't that awesome?
Oh, that is awesome.
I mean, this woman, is the mom of one of the best, in my humble opinion, one of the best quarterbacks that has ever been around. And so for her to come out is just awesome. And knowing that, T Swift is on the other side, I'd love to see those two sit down together and have a discussion. Wouldn't that be something?
Thanksgiving dinner might be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Please pass
but then
the turkey.
Again,
No.
They said that that Taylor's been snubbing that Taylor's been snubbing Brittany Holmes, so Patrick's wife. So apparently there's a little rift there, which I think is just so funny.
I'd be amiss if I didn't do a Vic kind of imitation. Was the game last night? What a game! Mm-hmm. Overtime, that Kansas City beat Tampa Bay. I was rooting for Tampa Bay though.
You were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddies in Tampa Bay, my radio partner.
Yeah. Now, see, if Tom Brady was still down there playing, it'd be a toss-up for me between the Chiefs and Tampa Bay.
True.
It would. But I gotta stay true to my peeps that are close. I do. I'm so sad that we don't have football here in St. Louis anymore. Gosh. That was some good times.
Well, we have the Battlehawks.
Yeah. The Battlehawks. No, but you know what? We did get soccer, and I grew up in a soccer family. I grew up playing soccer. My kids play soccer, and I just absolutely love that we have a team here in St. Louis. So I'd still love to have some football. There's just nothing like going down, tailgating all day, getting a good football game in. It's just not the same to play it on your television set on Sunday, although I do love that too.
It's funny. I used to clean on Sundays and watch all the football games on Sundays. It was like my day. Mm-hmm. And, the wife says, I do. So,
yeah. So you got your honey-do list. You got that. And then you had the TV on so you could kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly. Every room in the house had the game on.
What a good husband you are. Hey,
yes, dear.
So too, there's, of course, we're talking about polling. Today's the day, the last day. Many different states are doing, especially in the swing states, are doing the time of their election differently. Some polling places are open, from 6 to 6. Some are open from 7 to 7. So it really depends on where you're voting. So what time you have to finish and get your vote in. The other thing that I find interesting are that several states are counting as the early voting is taking place, they are counting, they are taking a tally so that today when the polls close, they have already got some of those votes counted, which I love. I would love even more if they would just kind of give us a sneak peek on what the numbers are that they're counting, but I understand that you absolutely cannot do that. We don't do that anymore. And so, because if we did and it was showing that Trump was winning, then people would just stay home and say, I don't have to vote. Look, he's winning. He's good. He doesn't need my vote. So for that, I'm grateful that they don't do that because, everybody needs to get out and vote. But yeah, so like I was saying, so different places have different ways of doing things, and that we are not going to know tonight.
Mm-mm.
We are not going to know tonight. If we were to know something tonight, I would think that it would be awfully fishy, because we should not know tonight, because there are so many people, like I said, as of this morning, and I'm sure the number has just gone up and up and up. That was as soon as I woke up this morning. It was 82 million Americans have voted already. And so there's going to be a lot of work to do. But the sad part is that there's already some really suspicious things going on in several different states. We we have from Maricopa County. If I think, Joe, you've got that little clip in there. So Maricopa County, because they are backed up, because there are so many people coming out, they are saying that it's going to take a while to get their numbers caught up.
I heard Vegas wasn't going to be, or not Vegas, but Nevada wasn't going to be until Thursday or Friday.
Some of the states are just saying that. And I don't know if they're saying that it's going to be that far out just to kind of save face, just in case it truly, truly does take that long. But I mean, a lot of these people are, a lot of these places have never seen this many people come up. I mean, look at, like I was saying earlier, the one grade school here locally that has one ballot machine that you put your ballot in. I mean, and so, there's people that are backed up just to put their ballots in, which I love. I absolutely love. But at the same time, it's like, okay, it's America and it's 2024. Why is this not going more smooth? And why should there be any issues at all occurring during this voting cycle? Did you find that, Maricopa County?
I don't know what it was labeled.
Yeah.
So
it's just a woman. It's a congresswoman standing there.
I don't have that.
Okay.
One.
Anyway, so Maricopa County, they're already saying, "Oops," and for whatever reason, they've always got issues in Maricopa County, but they're already telling people, "Hey, here's the deal. We're backed up, and we admit it, and it's going to take some time." Whether that's true or not, we will find out. That's for sure.
I will have to defend St. Louis County with their election. I actually, little unknown fact you probably didn't know, I worked the elections.
Oh.
For 8 years.
You are a man of many trades.
As a tech, Joe, as of any people, with the machines when we had the touch screens back for voting, I had to fix those and get them lined up, or some of them would be misaligned when you push the button. So we had to realign it and so forth. But the system in St. Louis County is very protective.
Yeah, well, good.
I would have to say, even though I haven't done the election since 2020.
And the other thing that I find, just so intriguing is that, when you first walked into the area where they print, because, all of the ballots have to be individually printed. So you go in, you give them your ID. You have to let them know that you are an American citizen and you are voting where you should. And so just going in and doing that, all I could think about is, how and why do people think that it should be any different? How and why would it be okay if I came in here and I voted and I was not a legal citizen? Even if I was a legal citizen, that I didn't have to show my ID. To me, that I just have a really hard time making sense, any kind of sense of that. There's not one bit of sensical anything in that. And so as I'm handing my ID over, and then they run it through the machine, and then they print you your, Megan Murray's individual ballot, I just couldn't help but think of all of the other places that people are just walking in with nothing and voting.
Well, they do in St. Louis County put it in a provincial ballot box. So if you don't have the ID, you don't have certain registration, they will let you vote, but it goes into a different box, and they can approve that or disapprove it. Most times it'll probably be disapproved because no ID linking it to somebody else. But there are, I have to defend St. Louis County. There are ways and means of checking everything and making sure.
Well, right. So if you come and you're like, hey, I just got in from out of town. My wallet got stolen. I have nothing. Well, sure, they're going to figure out a way, to make it okay for you to vote, but they're not going to do that until the verification has been made.
Yeah, there are ways with their poll pad when you put your driver's license in. There is a way to manually put it in and an ID your signature against that and so forth, but it would go into a provincial ballot box and then be adjusted or checked or things like that.
You know what? I have no problem with that. Some people, lose things. I mean, can you imagine, Ida, the 89-year-old neighbor that probably had her kids took her driver's license, from her 20 years ago because they don't want her to drive. God knows what. I mean, there's, that there's ways to come, but like you just said, the vote's not going to count unless they're verified, unless they are, an American citizen and they have the right to vote. But yeah, it's just really, it's really just. I just cannot even believe a lot of the things that are going on and a lot of people, including Kamala Harris and, that whole administration that wants to allow for this, that wants to allow illegal aliens to vote. And, I hate to harp on that so much, but it really, truly, truly bothers me that anyone, just voters in general, Americans in general, think that it's okay or fair. It's not fair. So to even use the word fair, in that sentence, I feel like just doesn't even make any sense.
A cheat on a win is still a cheat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So which way, which way you want to look at it is, that's your choice. But hey, so as you know, we love Megyn Kelly around here. Vic loves her. That's his number one, favorite podcast host. She, she puts out just some really good information. She can go toe to toe with anyone. She can have a conversation with anyone, and she will put people in their place in a heartbeat. And that's why so many people that invite her on or to do interviews with her are scared to death. And they should be, because that girl, what she logs into her brain is absolutely incredible. And I personally, I think a lot of you guys saw her at the rally when Donald Trump had her come on. I loved every single thing that she said was what goes through my mind every single day. And she could not have said it better. And I think we have a clip of that. So I want you guys to hear this. She was just amazing. So, I'm not sure, Joe, what happened? Yeah. So you couldn't cut to it beforehand? Anyway, we'll see what we can do for this. So the video that I sent is from Fox, because Fox is the only place that I could find where it was the entire thing, the entire clip of what she said. There were little tidbits here and there, but to see her talk in full is just awesome. And do you think that we're going to be able to have that? Possibly.
I think it's right there. There we go.
Yeah.
Kelly is now joining him on stage. Let's listen in.
About her tomorrow all day. 22 years old, killed in Georgia, a young nursing student by an illegal. I'll be thinking about Jocelyn Nungare, 12 years old, in Texas, murdered by 2 Venezuelan illegals. President Trump closed the border. Kamala Harris opened it by choice. It wasn't accidental. She said it would be humane. That's what she and her boss believed. Tell it to Lake and Riley's family. There was nothing humane about it. He closed it. They opened it. It was an intentional choice, and there's no reason not to believe they won't do it again.
That's right.
The boys should not be in the girls' sports. The boys should not be in the girls' bathrooms. The boys should not be in the girls' locker rooms. Peyton McNabb, North Carolina sophomore in high school, slammed so hard in the face by a volleyball hit at her by a boy pretending to be a girl, she suffered traumatic brain injury and permanent paralysis. Kamala Harris looks at her and says, "Be kind, suck it up." And that's what's right. Why do our girls have to face brain damage in order to be kind to boys who want to invade their sports? And by the way, they are going into the women's prisons. She changed the law in California to make sure the taxpayers would pay for their sex change operations. She was not just following the law, she changed the law. President Trump will stop it.
I think that's good.
Just her voice. Oh, I'm in love with just the voice, that commanding voice.
Yes. And, which leads me to the thought about Mark Cuban saying that Donald Trump refuses to have smart and intelligent women around him. When you see Megyn Kelly, her standing there right next to Donald Trump and speaking in that way, you show me one more woman that is more smart or intelligent than Megyn Kelly. He didn't look afraid to me. He didn't look intimidated. He was like standing there going right on. And she said what many of us are thinking, and she just said it all in a row. And what I loved is that she is reminding people that, what Kamala Harris and Joe Biden did with the border, they did that. That was intentional. It was not like that. It was a secure border when Donald Trump was in office. They came in and intentionally, it was one of the first executive orders that they wanted to undo, was to go in and open that border. So, for her to make sure that people understand that, I think is super, super important, because so many people forget that, because you've got Kamala Harris for the last several months running around talking about how she wanted to have a partisan deal. She wanted Congress to say, we need to close the borders. And it's like, well, first of all, you didn't need Congress to do it. Your boss could have done it like that, just like when he undid it. So I think that these reminders are just so important right now. And for her as a woman to also speak out and say, you know what, what you're doing to women, and you talk about women's rights all the time, and you talk about how you want to help women, but what you're doing is you are degrading women by taking away all of these things from them, taking away the opportunity for them to compete in women's sports. They call it women's sports for a reason, and then, to let opposite sex, to let men into female bathrooms. And, we always talk about the part where it's the allowing boys or men into women or girls' restrooms. But let me talk about the other side of that. I can tell you right now that my sons, being the ages that they are, they would cringe if they knew that girls were going into their restroom. They absolutely would think that was the craziest thing that they could ever think of, or their locker room. They both play a ton of sports. If I went and sat down with my kids and I said, look, guys, new rules at school. From now on, anything go. Well, actually, I can't use that because my kids go to all boys school, so we don't have to worry about that. But, just going out, whether, it's at a sporting event or a concert or just anywhere, that the girls are going to be able to come in right behind you. No way. That would be so super uncomfortable. So I just want to make sure that it's not just a girl issue.
Well, there's two thoughts on this. Think about it this way. Every one of these organizations are really a club. If you think about it, boys club, girls club, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, boys swimming, girls swimming. All those are separate. They own those. The Olympic Committee, they're a club. The NFL, they're a club. They make the rules. They changed the rules this year for kickoffs in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's that. And with the mixed school that I went to, we didn't have a women's girls swimming team. So they swam on the boys team.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't make any big deal about it.
Right.
We had separate changing rooms and everything to respect. They were just as much as a team as we were.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just, when it comes to the left talking about all of this fair business for women and women's rights and fighting for women is such a joke to me, because for the last 4 years, They have tried to completely rearrange, tear down, disintegrate the word woman. And so like almost to the point where that was their mission, that the word woman meant nothing anymore, because it wasn't just woman that could, have babies. It wasn't just a woman that could be a wife. It wasn't, women that play and compete in women's sports. Like they've just completely just ruined the word woman. And so now all of a sudden, conveniently, they want to bring this back and they want to act like they're doing all this stuff for women when right before your eyes, they are doing the opposite.
Who's taking it over? Men.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have enough between their legs that they have to go less.
Wow.
I mean, do you even see a Chaz Bono in the locker rooms for men? No.
Right.
You just see men in women's locker room.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's your choice. Fine. Keep it out of the schools, keep it out of the locker rooms, do it all you want.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is that, people know, because, people know who the person is that is trans or wants to identify as something else. Why? Because they've made it known. Because that is who their identity has become. They want everyone to know that I am no longer Mark. I am now Maddie, and you must call me Maddie or they or them or whatever, the whole pronoun game. They themselves have made it known to everyone because that's who they want their identity to be. So they've made it known to everyone. So it's not like it's, some secret when there's a boy going into a girl's room or a girl going into a boy's room. So you hear a lot of people go, well, they just want to be normal. They just want to fit in. They just want to be normal. Well, they made themselves not normal when they have gone around and demanded everyone to call them something different than who they are or what they are, to make them feel better. So I'm not buying into that. And, I'm not so sure how I got off on that tangent, but anyway, I love Megyn Kelly. I love what she said. I love that smart, intelligent women are standing behind Donald Trump and voting for Donald Trump. I think it's just awesome.
It is awesome. And no woman is no less than any man either.
Yeah, that's true.
And if anybody has any respect for any woman, they are your partner.
Mm-hmm.
They are second only to God.
Yeah.
And, they're the nurturers.
Mm-hmm.
They're the bringers of life.
Yes.
Let's not end that because they're not happy or this or that. Mm-hmm. That's their choice to do.
Yeah.
But don't shove it in my face for the 1% of 1% to, hey, look at me, quit picking on me.
Mm-hmm.
When they're the one dancing around saying, quit picking on me.
Right. Yeah. It's like, which way do you truly, truly want it?
And it goes for everything in politics if you think about it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Every
it does.
direction.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. If you want it this way and you want it that way so bad, but then when someone questions you about it because it's not in the norm or you've made it a big deal, you have to expect people to want to talk about it.
Just because I like Star Trek doesn't mean you have to call me Captain Greg all the time.
Okay. Well, so we got another, Star Trek. Now, are you Star Wars, Joe? Or Star Trek?
The reference that I said yesterday was Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah. I can't keep it all straight. I didn't do those. I didn't do any of those, but okay. Maybe I'm missing out. But the one last thing that I do want to show that I find super interesting is on a ballot that's here locally. There's been a few ballots. Do you have the ballot with the dot on it?
Yeah.
So several of our listeners actually have noticed this. And what it is that if you look carefully, when you get your ballot, make sure that there are no markings in any of your boxes. Because if you look carefully on the screen, and so for people that are listening and can't see, it is the official ballot. And there is a small black dot that is showing up in Kamala Harris's box. Nowhere else on the ballot. So just make sure when you go to make sure that whether it's Kamala Harris or any other box, if you see that dot, just ask for a new ballot. And apparently there was several of these this morning and they had to reprint several ballots.
Had to happen to my wife 3 times. They shut down the printer afterwards.
There
because
you
it kept
go.
on putting the dots in the wrong, little dots like that in the wrong spots, and she had to go back 3 times
You guys.
this morning. That's why I was barely on time.
I mean, this is just unbelievable. I cannot believe that this is happening. I mean, in such an awesome country that we have to worry about these things. I just don't get it at all. But again, don't let that be any reason that you should not vote or will not vote. Make sure you get out there and do it because it does. Every single vote matters. It's really important. We have got to get this country turned around. We have got to get Donald Trump, the truth teller, the guy that, has taken, a bullet, to the head and rises up and says, fight, fight, fight. The guy that had a second assassination attempt, the guy that literally has not stopped for a second's rest during this entire campaign, and the guy that goes and talks to people. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of when he goes to these different states, he shows up in the small towns, the places that people feel like they're not heard, they're not seen. And he makes it a point to go there and to talk to them. He truly, truly loves the American people. He truly wants to do what's right. He wants, he wants things to be fair for all people. And so, today's the day. And, I can't wait to see what happens. I think Glenn said earlier in the show on the chat line, he said that hopefully it's going to be such a landslide that by tonight we'll have a really great idea. And I hope and I pray for that. But I think that we might just have to sit tight for a few days to see what happens.
Patience, kindness, and go out and vote. Even if you're voting for Kamala, we don't want you to, but that's our given right.
It is. And take advantage of that luxury, the gift that we have in this country to vote, no matter what side you're on. And if you don't vote and you show up tomorrow or next week and you're crybabying about, who won, or you're upset and God forbid you do anything stupid and violent, if you didn't vote, just shut up and go home. You have absolutely no right or reason to be giving your opinion for whatever side and and I, like you said, just be kind. And so whatever happens, just we have to remember that and we've seen it on the left so many times, the violence, it does nothing. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't get you ahead in the game. If anything, it makes, those of us that are sitting here watching it just completely disrespect you. So I hope that people can, whatever happens, of course we're going to be upset. And of course we're going to be talking about it for days and days and weeks to come. In regards to whatever happens. But yeah, I hope that that we don't see another reoccurrence, a take two of what happens when the left doesn't get what they want. I would hate to see that. So
peace and
yes.
calm. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So everybody, if you're out there right now in line voting, thank you so much. I hope that the lines are going smooth for you. Check your ballots. Make sure that there's no weird marks on them. Get your sticker that says I voted. Feel good. Enjoy the rest of your day. I don't know if I'm going to stay glued to the TV for the rest of the day. I promised myself several times that I wasn't going to look at anything tonight. And I was just going to wake up, see if there was anything. But I'm starting to feel like I'm probably going to do what a lot of you guys are doing and stay tuned. But anyway, so really, truly just pray for a fair election and pray that Donald Trump gets in and, gets the party started again.
And in St. Louis, remember, you can put the ballot any which direction, upside down, right side up, just can't put it in sideways.
Yeah. Good to know. Yeah. There you go. So anyway, thanks so much everybody for joining us today, November 5th.
I want to take a quick second.
Yeah.
We never promote Greg's show.
Yeah.
We always talk about Greg
Oh.
But we never talk about Greg's show that he has weekly every Saturday on jetjams.net. Tell us about it, Greg.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. It's an 80s and 90s beat mix show, which is basically music blended from the 80s and 90s, one song after the other. It's not a mashup where there's two songs together at once. It's one into the next, into the next, and it's all 80s and 90s. And we do this on jetjams.net, and it's called the Saturday Night Party. And at 8 p.m. Central Time, we jam out for 3 to 4 hours with history, a little memorabilia, and a lot of music from the 80s and 90s.
It's definitely a lot of nostalgia.
I love 80s and 90s music.
I mean, I was jamming to YMCA on the way over.
Yeah, that's what you said. I was like, oh my gosh, of course he is.
Well, I started off with 9 to 5.
Okay.
A remix of my own.
Oh, fine.
And was jamming on it. It was first on my list on my phone when I plugged in. I'm like, I'm going to jam to 9 to 5.
See, isn't that great? See, just to wake up, be super happy, listen to some good jams on a day like today. I love that. So anyway, be safe out there today, especially here locally. It's raining, and thank you so much for getting out there to vote. Don't forget to check on your neighbors or family or friends that may have a hard time getting out. Do that one thing.
Check them on them anyway, no matter what, even after the election.
Yeah.
Like I said, my 91-year-old neighbor, nursing home, but he cut his grass up until 89 years old.
Hey, I'm not sure. We're going to be back in the morning, Joe?
As far as I know, yeah. I think we're doing one every day.
So you guys come back tomorrow, please. Stay tuned. We are going to be here several days this week just to kind of keep up with what's happening with the election and talk about hopefully some good news.
I want to hear some stories.
MAGA. Yeah.
How it went with everybody.
Yeah. That'll be interesting too. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. And Greg, you were awesome. Pro Joe, awesome as usual. Thanks again, guys, and happy election day, and go Trump.
I am
Presents partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together.